Forgiveness is power until it's not. When you forgive the wrong person, the wrong betrayal, you're not healing. You're handing them the knife and pointing it at your own heart. Let's face it, relationships aren't a fairy tale with soft edges and happy endings. They're a battlefield, gritty, raw, and relentless, where trust gets tested, bent, and sometimes shredded beyond recognition. You felt it, haven't you? That sting when someone you held close turned the blade, left you questioning why you ever let them in. It's not your fault the world's full of wolves, but it's on you to stop feeding them your soul. This is where Stoicism steps in, not with a hug, but with a shield. It doesn't whisper sweet nothings about turning the other cheek. It hands you a torch to spot the shadows and the spine to stand like a mountain against the storm. The Stoics didn't survive chaos by being pushovers. They thrived by knowing what's worth their peace and what's not. Today, we're diving into 9 betrayals you should never forgive. Not out of spite, but out of strength. These are the cuts too deep, the strikes too calculated, the wounds you don't just patch up and forget. They're the lines you draw to protect yourself, to live bold and true, like the warrior you were born to be. So buckle up. This isn't for the faint. If you're ready to stop bleeding for those who don't deserve it, hit that like button, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more hard-hitting truth. Drop a comment below. Tell me I draw the line, or share a betrayal that woke you up. Thanks for joining us on Victory Stoic. Let's forge something unbreakable, starting right now. Number 1. Backstabbing in the shadows. Cowards don't deserve mercy. Number 1 creeps in like a dagger in the dark. Backstabbing in the shadows. Spreading rumors. Whispering poison behind your back. This isn't a slip-up or a heated moment. It's a calculated gut punch from someone too spineless to face you. They smile to your face, nod at your stories, then slink off to smear your name where you can't defend it. It's betrayal dressed in cowardice, and it's the kind of rot that doesn't just sting, it festers. Forgive this, and you're not noble. You're a doormat inviting more mud. Picture Jenna, your coworker who's all sunshine at lunch. You vent about a rough week. Nothing big, just life's usual grind. Next day, you catch whispers in the break room. Jenna says you're a mess, can't handle the job. By Friday, the boss is side-eyeing you, and your desk buddy's asking, "You okay?" All because Jenna spun your offhand gripe into a tale of incompetence. She didn't confront you, didn't clarify. She scurried to the shadows and stabbed. It's not rare, it's routine. That friend who jokes about your breakup to the group chat, that cousin who accidentally leaks your money troubles. Same game, different players. They thrive on your blind trust, and they don't deserve an ounce of it back. The Stoics saw these snakes clear as day. Marcus Aurelius, that rock of a man, wrote, "How much trouble he avoids who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does." Flip that. How much trouble you dodge by cutting out the ones who skulk and slander. They're not worth your forgiveness because they're not fighting fair. They're ambushing you. A real warrior faces you head-on. A coward stabs through whispers. Letting this slide doesn't heal the wound. It sharpens their blade for round 2. So when you spot the signs, hushed voices, shifted glances, don't beg for explanations. Stand tall, call it out if you must, then walk away. They're not your burden to fix. This is about drawing your line, warrior. Cowards don't get a seat at your table. Number 2, mind games. They twist your sanity, caging you in their chaos. Buckle up for number 2 because this one's a silent killer. Mental manipulation. This isn't a loud fight or a blatant lie. It's a slow, creeping fog that seeps into your head, making you question your own mind. They don't just hurt you, they reprogram you, turning your thoughts against yourself until you're a prisoner in their twisted psychological maze. It's not love, not friendship. It's a power grab, and forgiving it means surrendering your soul to their strings. Take Sam, a guy dating Claire. She's got a knack for flipping reality. "You're overreacting," she says when he calls out her flirty text to an ex. "You're too sensitive." She smirks when he's upset she bailed on plans. Again. Soon, Sam's second-guessing everything. Was he too harsh? Is he imagining things? He's not. He's just caught in her web. Claire's not careless. She's a puppeteer, tugging his doubts until he's apologizing for her sins. It's textbook gaslighting, psychology's red flag, and it's everywhere. The friend who guilts you for setting boundaries, the partner who spins your anger into your problem. They don't fight fair. They rewrite the rules till you're lost. The Stoics wouldn't blink at this. Epictetus, that iron-willed sage, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Let them manipulate your mind, and you're not just betrayed, you're enslaved. They don't deserve forgiveness because they're not sorry. They're banking on your confusion. Every "maybe I'm wrong" they plant as a chain. Every self-doubt they feed as a lock. Forgiving this isn't grace, it's handing them the key to keep you trapped. When you feel that fog, those "am I crazy" whispers, don't bend. Step back, trust your gut, and cut the cord. They're not worth your clarity. This is your stand, warrior. Reclaim your mind, because no one gets to jail you in their game and walk away clean. Number 3, repeated mistakes without regret. Once is a slip, twice is a choice. Brace yourself, because this betrayal cuts deeper than most. Repeating mistakes without a shred of remorse. One screw up? Fine, we're human. Dust it off. Move on. But when they do it again, eyes wide open, with no hint of sorry, that's not a stumble. That's a declaration. They're not lost. They're choosing to trample your trust and expecting you to mop up the mess. Forgive this, and you're not saving them. You're signing up to be their doormat, round after round. Imagine Tara, your roommate with a knack for chaos. First time she forgets to pay her half of the rent, you cover it. Tight month, no big deal. She promises it won't happen again. Cue next month. Same story, same shrug, but now she's flaunting new sneakers while you're eating instant noodles to balance the books. It's not forgetfulness, it's a pattern. She's not broke, she's banking on your patience. Or picture that friend who keeps borrowing your stuff. Your jacket goes missing, then your earbuds, always with a "whoops, I'll replace it." That never comes. By the third time, it's not a quirk, it's a heist. They're not sorry, they're testing how far you'll bend before you break. The Stoics drew a hard line here. Seneca, that razor-sharp thinker, said, "To err is human, but to persist in error is diabolical." One mistake earns a nod, 2 without regret earns a boot. They're not worth your mercy because they're not seeking it, they're exploiting it. Logic's brutal. A slip you can fix, but a choice they repeat is a slap to your face. Every next time they promise is a lie you don't have to buy. They're not drowning, they're swimming in their own mess, dragging you under. When you see that cycle, empty apologies, same old song, don't flinch. Call it out once, then walk. They don't get a 4th act in your story. This is your ground, warrior. Let them sink alone, because redemption's for the repentant, not the reckless. Number 4, silent disrespect. Rust that ruins, not worth your grace. Hold your ground, because this betrayal sneaks in quiet but deadly. Silent disrespect. It's not always a scream or a slap. It's the sly jab disguised as a joke. The eye roll when you bare your soul. The cold shrug when you need warmth. They don't shout you down, they chisel you away, bit by subtle bit, until you're left wondering why you feel so small. This isn't a misunderstanding. It's a slow poison, rust creeping over steel. Ignore it, forgive it, and you're not preserving peace. You're letting it corrode everything you've built. Think of Priya, your friend who's got a knack for teasing. You're excited about a new project, pouring your heart out, and she snickers, "Oh, cute, another little hobby?" Or you're upset, spilling your guts, and she scrolls her phone muttering, "You're so dramatic." It's not loud, not blatant, just a smirk here, a sigh there, a vibe that says you're not worth her time. It's everywhere. The partner who forgets your wins, the sibling who smirks at your dreams like they're child's play. That rust starts tiny, a quip, a glance, but left unchecked, it eats through trust, respect, the whole damn framework. Priya's not clueless. She's choosing to chip at your worth. The Stoics wouldn't flinch at this. Marcus Aurelius, that unshakable soul, said, "If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Flip it. If they can't see what's right, your value, they don't belong in your orbit. Here's the kicker. If you have to beg them to respect you, to explain why you matter, they've already failed the test. They're not blind, they're indifferent. Expecting them to wake up and see your light is a fantasy? Rust doesn't turn back into steel. They didn't value you day one, they won't day 100. When that subtle scorn hits, the half laugh, the dismissive grunt, don't preach. Stand firm, call it once if you must, then cut the rope. They don't get a lecture hall in your life. This is your fight, warrior. Demand the honor you deserve because rust unchecked wrecks all. Number 5, intentional deception, lies that hunt, not heal. Step into the fire because this betrayal burns hot and deliberate. Intentional deception. This isn't a white lie to spare your feelings or a fumble in the heat of the moment. It's a calculated mask, a crafted story meant to trap you, not shield you. They don't just bend the truth, they wield it like a blade, carving out your trust to serve their own game. It's not a mistake, it's a choice to make you pray. Forgive this and you're not offering mercy. You're inviting the hunter back into your den. Take Liam, your buddy who's always got a tail. You're planning a group trip and he swears he's booked the cabin. All set, trust me. You arrive, bags in hand, to a locked door and no reservation. Turns out Liam never called. Too busy chasing a date instead. He grins, oops, my bad. But the lie wasn't chaos. It was laziness dressed as loyalty, leaving you stranded. Or picture Maya, your partner of 2 years. She's working late every Thursday until you spot her laughing at a bar with someone else, her colleague. Not a slip. She planned it, fed you excuses, watched you swallow them whole. These aren't errors, they're ambushes. Liam and Maya didn't stumble into deceit. They built it, brick by brick, knowing you'd take the fall. The Stoics saw through this smoke. Epictetus, that steel-eyed realist, said, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. Don't waste them on liars who chose their script." Here's the raw truth. Intentional deception isn't a flaw to fix. It's a signal they've marked you as dispensable. They don't lie to protect. They lie to profit, to dodge, to control. Every "I didn't mean it" is a dodge. Meant it or not, they did it, eyes open. Forgiving this doesn't mend the bridge. It hands them dynamite to blow it again. When the mask slips, Liam's smirk, Maya's excuses, don't plead for honesty. See it, name it, walk away. They don't deserve your faith. They've already spent it. This is your stand, warrior. Reject the hunter's snare because a liar who crafts their deceit isn't lost. They're hunting. Number 6, physical betrayal. A breach that breaks the core. Stand firm because this betrayal hits like a sledgehammer. Physical betrayal. This isn't a fleeting thought or a harmless flirt. It's the body crossing lines, shattering vows, torching the trust you poured your soul into. It's not just a mistake. It's a demolition, tearing down the foundation you built with sweat and faith. They didn't trip into someone else's arms. They walked there, eyes wide, choosing flesh over honor. Forgive this, and you're not mending a crack. You're rebuilding on rubble that'll never hold. Take Ethan, your partner of 5 years. You're juggling bills, late nights, keeping the ship afloat while he's staying late at the gym. Then you find it, a text, a photo, a hotel receipt. He's been tangled up with his trainer, not lifting weights but lifting lies. He sobs. It meant nothing, but it meant everything to you. Every promise, every quiet moment, now ash. Or consider Priya, your best friend turned roommate. You catch her sneaking your crush into her room after you'd confessed your feelings. Her excuse? We were drunk, it's no big deal. No big deal to her maybe, but it's a crater in your chest. These aren't slip-ups, they're choices. Ethan's calculated nights, Priya's sly grab. Physical betrayal isn't a stumble, it's a leap over your heart. The Stoics wouldn't blink at this wreckage. Marcus Aurelius, that titan of resolve, wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." They don't get your tears, they get your distance. Here's the steel truth. This isn't about jealousy or pride, it's about respect. Yours, theirs, the bonds. They didn't just break a rule, they broke you open, raw and deliberate. Every "it won't happen again" is a hollow echo. Once is enough to show they valued a thrill over your spine. Forgiving this doesn't heal. It hands them a free pass to wander while you wait, bleeding. When the proof lands, Ethan's text, Priya's smirk, don't bargain. Look it square, feel the weight, then let them go. They don't deserve your rebuild. They've already burned the blueprints. This is your fortress, warrior. A body that betrays doesn't just stray, it strikes. Rise above the ashes because you're worth more than their reckless ruin. Number 7, exploiting your kindness. Leeches don't get a medal. Get ready to laugh through the sting because this betrayal's a twisted comedy, exploiting your kindness. You've got a heart, golden, generous, the kind that'd give the shirt off your back. And they see it, not as a gift, but as a buffet. Free refills, no tip required. They don't just take, they drain you dry, grinning like you're the world's dumbest ATM. It's not gratitude thereafter. It's a subscription to your goodwill. Forgive this, and you're not a saint. You're a punchline in their sitcom of selfishness. Meet Raj, your cousin with a sob story for every season. Lost my job again. Can you spot me $50? You do it, because family, right? Next week, he's posting beach selfies. Apparently, your cash bought him a tan, not groceries. Or say hello to Kim, your bestie who's always in a pickle. Car breaks down, she's at your door. Can I borrow yours just this once? 3 months later, she's joyriding while you're bussing it to work, and her thanks is a half-dead houseplant she found in her trunk. Hilarious, right? Except it's your life they're laughing through. Raj and Kim aren't slipping. They're pros at playing you, sucking your kindness till it's a husk, then skipping off to the next sucker. The Stoics wouldn't buy this clown show. Seneca, that dry-witted sage, said, "No one can be good for long if goodness is not in demand." Your kindness is gold. Don't toss it to pigs who'll snort and root for more. Here's the punchline. They don't stumble into exploiting you. They choose it, betting you're too nice to notice. Every "I'll pay you back" is a script. They're not broke, just cheap with their own wallets. Forgiving this doesn't teach them. It upgrades their VIP pass to your generosity bar. You're not their savior. You're their snack machine. When Raj whines or Kim bats her lashes next time, don't play the fool. Chuckle, say, "Wow, you're a regular charity case. Try eBay for cash," and shut the vault. They don't get a curtain call in your circus. This is your stage, warrior. Kick the leeches off because kindness is your strength, not their punchline. Number 8, abandonment in hard times. Fair weather rats don't get a lifeboat. Strap in because this betrayal's a gut twister with a smirk. Abandonment when the storm hits. Life's throwing punches, job's gone, health's crumbling, or the world's just kicking you while you're down. And they're nowhere to be found. These aren't friends or lovers, they're sunshine groupies. There for the picnic but gone when the rain starts. They don't just leave, they bolt, leaving you to drown while they sip cocktails on dry land. Forgive this, and you're not generous. You're a lighthouse begging to be ignored. Take Nate, your ride or die pal. You lose your gig, bills stacking like a horror movie, and text him for a coffee, a vent, anything. "Oh, dude, super busy. Catch you later," he chirps. Later turns out to be him posting gym selfies while you're selling your couch to eat. Or meet Lila, your girlfriend who swore she'd stick through thick and thin. Car accident lands you in a cast, and suddenly she's needing space. Space she fills with brunches and a new guy's Instagram likes. Hilarious, right? Nate's pumping iron, and Lila's sipping mimosas while you're crawling through hell. They didn't miss the call. They hung up on it, betting you'd be too wrecked to notice. The Stoics wouldn't waste ink on these clowns. Marcus Aurelius, that granite voice, said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Theirs, yellow as a coward's streak. Here's the rub. They don't ditch you by accident. They choose the exit when you're no fun anymore. It's not a lapse. It's a verdict. You're only worth their time when you're shiny. Forgiving this doesn't pull them back. It books their next getaway. You're not their anchor. You're their summer fling, dumped when winter bites. When Nate's busy or Lila's space echoes next time, Don't chase. Laugh it off. Guess I'm not VIP enough for your sunny days. And lock the gate. They don't get an encore in your saga. This is your rise, warrior. Let the rats scurry, because you're built for storms they'll never weather. Number 9, breaking a crucial promise. Oath shattered, trust smashed. Gear up, because this betrayal lands like a thunderclap with a wicked grin. Breaking a crucial promise. This isn't forgetting to grab milk or flaking on movie night. It's a vow, a cornerstone you leaned on, snapped in half like it's nothing. They looked you in the eye, swore something sacred, then torched it without a blink. It's not a slip, it's a sledgehammer to your faith. Forgive this, and you're not rebuilding. You're handing them the hammer to swing again. Picture Zara, your startup co-founder. You're both broke, hustling, and she promises, "We're in this together. No side deals, just us." Months of grind later, you spot her on X, that wild digital jungle, crowing about a secret investor she snagged. Solo. Your shared dream? She's tagged it, "My Journey," raking likes while you're still eating ramen, wondering when "together" turned into her spotlight. Or take Leo, your fiancé with a flair for drama. He kneels, ring in hand, vowing, "You're my forever, no one else." Fast forward, you're picking a wedding cake and he's picking up a barista, caught when his work trip turns into a viral X thread of blurry club pics. Zara's flexing and Leo's flirting. Promises they swore now confetti for their ego parade. The Stoics wouldn't shrug at this circus. Epictetus, that no-nonsense rock, said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." They didn't. They said one thing, did another, and left you holding the shards. Here's the sting. A crucial promise isn't a casual, "sure," it's a pillar you built on. Zara didn't miss a memo. She cashed out. Leo didn't trip. He twirled into someone else's arms. Forgiving this isn't noble. It's betting on a clown to quit juggling knives. They don't break oaths by accident. They break them because your trust was their trampoline. When Zara's X post glows or Leo's sorry stumbles out, don't bite, smirk. Nice solo gig, enjoy the encore, and dust your hands. They don't get a sequel in your epic. This is your throne, warrior. Promises matter, and those who shatter them don't deserve your crown. Number 10, love only when it's convenient. Affection on a timer. Let's linger here for a moment, because this betrayal slips in like a soft wind that chills the skin. Love only when it's convenient. True love isn't a light switch, glowing bright when the day's easy and snapping off when shadows fall. It's a steady flame, constant through storm and calm. But some wear it like a seasonal scarf, cozy when life's a breeze, discarded the instant thunder rumbles. If they only show up when they need something, your time, your comfort, your glow. It's not love, it's a barter, a deal struck for their ease alone. And the real kind, the kind that matters, doesn't vanish when you're the one with empty hands, reaching for a tether. Imagine Tara, your friend who's a whirlwind of charm when she's at loose ends. She's blowing up your phone, giggling over coffee, weaving you into her orbit, until a shiny new job lands in her lap. Suddenly, she's a phantom. You lose your own gig. Text her for a lifeline, a simple, "You free?" and get a breezy, "Oh, swamped, talk soon," while her ex-posts parade rooftop cocktails and glittery nights. Or there's Dan, your partner who's a dream when the skies are clear. He's all soft words and lazy Sundays when your world's a postcard. Cooking together, whispering plans, painting a future. Then your mom falls ill, hospital visits stack up, and you're fraying, just needing him to sit with you. "I'm wiped," he sighs. "Need some me time," leaving you with a cold bed and colder silence while he's out balancing his life with craft beers and mates. Tara's ghosting and Dan's retreat aren't flukes. They're patterns. Affection dialed up when you're a bonus, dialed down when you're a burden. The Stoics saw this half-light clear as day. Marcus Aurelius, ever grounded, wrote, "Adapt yourself to the things among which your lot is cast." But this isn't adapting. It's abandoning, a shallow tide that thrives only when the water's smooth. Here's the tender truth. If they only care when you're a convenience, they're not loving you. They're borrowing you, a rental renewed only when it suits. Real love doesn't clock out when you're cracking. It holds tighter. Forgiving this doesn't stitch the tear. It widens it, teaching them your heart's a drop-in center. When Tara's soon fades or Dan's me-time stretches, don't pull them close. Let them float. Let their silence hum its own tune and cradle your worth. You're not a rest stop for their whimsy. This is your quiet resolve. Love's a root, not a leaf that falls when the season shifts. Number 11, hollow apologies. Sorry without soul. Let's settle into this one, because it's a betrayal that hums beneath the surface. Hollow apologies. Not every sorry blooms from a place of real regret. Some are just husks, brittle and dry, offered up not because they're torn by what they've done, but because they've been caught with their hands in the mess. They don't ache for your pain. They squirm under the glare of their own guilt, tossing out words like a quick fix to dust it off. These aren't hearts seeking forgiveness. They're minds scrambling to shed the weight, leaving you to cradle the load they won't touch. Every time you let this slide, you don't free them. You chain yourself, lifting a burden they've shrugged away without a second thought. Picture Jake, your old mate who's got a knack for ducking out. He borrows $50, swears he'll square up by Friday, then vanishes, until you corner him at a coffee shop and he drawls, "Oh, sorry, slipped my mind," while sipping a latte that cost half your loan. Next month, same dance. Another sorry, another excuse, while his ex-profile brags about vinyl records and late-night gigs. He's not sorry he stiffed you. He's sorry you called it out. Or think of Ellie, your roommate with a flair for chaos. She blasts her playlist till dawn, rattling your sleep before a big day, and when you drag it up, she chirps, "Oops, sorry, didn't think it was that loud," with a fluttery laugh. A week later, same thumping bass, same sorry, same giggle, while you're chugging coffee to survive, and she's napping off her party haze. Jake's drawls and Ellie's chirps aren't remorse. They're smoke screens, flicked out to dodge the heat, not mend the rift. The Stoics saw this charade in sharp relief. Seneca, ever poised, said, "No one can wear a mask for long, yet they try, apologies as flimsy veils, not vows, spun to slip the guilt, not heal the harm." Here's the soft truth. They're not sorry enough to shift. They're sorry enough to soothe you, betting you'll be the bigger one who bends. When you forgive this, you don't lighten their soul. You heap their shame onto yours, a yoke you weren't meant to carry. So when Jake's "slip my mind" drifts out, or Ellie's laugh tinkles again, don't scoop it up. Let it hover, let it fade, and keep your peace. You're not here to be their relief valve, soaking up fallout they won't face. This is your steady step. Don't lift their load. Let them stumble under it, because you're not the fool who bears the cost. Conclusion: step into your quiet strength. Here we are, at the end of a journey through 11 betrayals, soft wounds that linger longer than loud ones. This isn't about building walls or nursing bitterness. It's about seeing clear, holding your worth close, letting go of what doesn't serve you. From whispers that cut to promises that crumble, these aren't just stumbles. They're choices, threads pulled loose by hands that don't cherish the fabric of your trust. Stoicism doesn't ask you to rage or crumble. It offers a steady hand, a calm lens to weigh what stays and what fades. You've walked through shadows here, the friend who drifts when you're no perk, the sorry that echoes without meaning, the love that wilts when the road dips. Each a reminder, your peace isn't theirs to borrow. Picture a quiet shore after a storm. Waves have crashed, debris is strewn, but the sand still holds its shape. That's you now, not shattered, just sifted, letting the tide carry off what's too light to stay. They might expect you to bend, to scoop up their messes with a forgiving smile, but you're not here to play that part. This is about choosing yourself, not with a shout, but with a step, a breath, a gentle no. So take this with you. Look at your life, spot one of these 11, and let it slip from your grasp today. You're not closing a door, you're opening a window to what's real. Hit that like if this resonates, share it with someone caught in their own tangle, and subscribe to Victory Stoic. Because clarity isn't loud, it's steady. Comment below, whisper, "I choose me," or share a shadow you've shed. Thanks for walking this path with us today on Victory Stoic. You're not just here, you're rising, soft but sure.